Automate video generation using Make plus Kling API. Want to learn how to generate videos without all the complicated interfaces? Today, we will show you how to create a video generator automation using Make.com, Google Sheets, and Kling API, an AI video generator model. We will try to get through everything as quickly as possible. We assume the viewers will have basic knowledge of the topics discussed. If you don't, it's okay. Feel free to contact us if you would like more details. Tools you'll need: free tier Make.com account plus basic knowledge of Make automations. Google Sheets. Kling API access. Must connect a payment to access API key. Important note: AI video generation can be very expensive. This automation is for people that want to generate videos with AI without using a complicated interface. You will need to visit replicate.com to create an account and add a payment method to get access to Kling's API key. Replicate.com is used as an AI API hub resource that gives users access to all different types of AI models that they can use in their own projects through the usage of their APIs. We will be using the Kling 2.0 AI video generator model. Step 1. Open up your browser and open a Make.com tab. Sign in if you aren't. Go to Scenarios, located on the left in the sidebar. Click on Scenarios and click Create New Scenario. Step 2. Add a Search Rows Google Sheets node. Configure it to pick up your inputs in the Google Sheet. Set the limit to 1. Your sheet names will look different from ours, so be sure to choose accordingly. Step 3. Add a ChatGPT Generate a Completion node. In the Generate a Completion GPT node, we will use GPT 4.1 Mini in Message 1, set role to developer/system. In the text content area, you will enter your system prompt. You can use what you like, but here's the prompt we used. You are a professional prompt engineer artist that creates stunning prompts for the Kling 2.1 standard video generator. Add a second message, but for this one, the role will be user, and you can enter a prompt the way you like. We use context from the video idea cell in the Google Sheet to give to the GPT node to help it generate a good prompt. Leave everything else at default and press save. Step 4. Add a HTTP Make a Request node. This node is used to send a request to Kling's API via Replicate. The URL will be located in description, so check it out if you're following along. For this HTTP request node, we will be using a POST request. As a reminder, we won't be going over these terms and what they mean. We assume our audience has some basic knowledge of these things. For the headers, where it says name, you will put in authorization. This is because you will be using your Replicate API key, which will grant you the access through the HTTP request to interact with Kling's API to start the video generation process. In the value box, you will add your Replicate API key, always starting with the word bearer with a capital B, a space, then your API key. Replace your API key with your actual API key, and make sure to leave a space between the word bearer and your API key. In the video, you won't see our actual API key, but the automation will run because we have everything configured correctly with our API key. In the body type box, you will select raw. This is because we will be using raw JSON code. In content type, you will select JSON, and in the request box, you will add the JSON body, which is a code snippet that the HTTP request will use. The JSON body will also be located in the description. In our JSON code, we used a dynamic variable from the GPT completion node instead of an actual worded prompt. You can use a worded prompt instead, but we think that using the AI to create the prompts on the fly is much more efficient. But do what's best for you.
Important notes. The JSON code snippet must be formatted correctly, or you will run into issues with your HTTP request. Be sure there's no extra white spaces, periods, or commas in the code. You can use JSON viewers online to double-check if you are unsure.
Be sure to tick the parse response option, which we forgot to show in the HTTP request, post, and get nodes. Step 5. Add a sleep node, and set the delay to 240 seconds. This node is used to give the AI generation time to process. This is because AI generators, such as Kling, can take up to 5 minutes to generate. Step 6. The next node will be a repeater. This node is used to repeat all the steps after it if certain conditions aren't met. In this case, the automation will go down two routes. One route if the generation from the AI is still processing, the other if the generation is complete. If the generation is still processing, the automation will give it more time. Step 7. After the repeater node, we add another HTTP request node. This node will use a GET request this time. As mentioned above, if the status of the GET request is still processing, the automation will give it more time and try again. For the URL section, we have to run the automation to populate the node to get the output to then be used in the GET request. For now, we will just put a placeholder. Be sure that parse response is ticked in your HTTP request, GET, and POST nodes. Step 8. Add a router to divide the paths of the outcomes of the generator status as mentioned above. Step 9. The first path will use a sleep node. If the AI generation is still processing, the automation will wait and try again. We will add a filter between the router and the sleep node so the automation can properly go down the proper paths depending on the status. We need the HTTP nodes populated to get the dynamic value, so for now we will use a placeholder. Step 10. The second path will use a HTTP download a file node. This node is used to download the finished generated video file using the URL that the previous HTTP GET request outputs. After that, we add another filter for when the generation succeeded. We will also need a placeholder for this as well until we get the outputs from running the HTTP nodes. Step 11. Add a Google Drive upload a file node. This node is used because we will upload the video to Google Drive, so we can always have access to the generated video. If you don't upload to a cloud service, your original replicate video link will expire because it will be hosted on the replicate cloud server, but only temporarily and will be deleted after a while. Step 12. Add a Get a Share Link Google Drive node. Set the type option to Anyone. This node creates a public share link that anyone can use to access the video. Step 13. Add a Google Sheets Update row node. This will update the Google Sheet with the finalized links and other information related to your generated video, depending how you configured the automation and Google Sheet. Step 14. Add a break node. This node stops the automation from running continuously. Set attempts and intervals to 1. Step 15. Get your Google Sheets set up and ready. Configure it the way you like, but be sure that it matches with the automation. This is the way we have our sheet set up currently. You can set your sheet up the way you see fit. In our sheet, we have an action column where we execute each step of the automation. Step 16. Now we will test the automation and put in the proper variables in the nodes that we used placeholders before. Once the HTTP node runs once, we use the data from the output to replace the placeholders so the nodes can run properly and output the proper data. Step 17. Enter a video idea in the cell we have in the Google Sheet. Then, set the action to generate video. Here, we will put an idea about a Thanksgiving video, since it's relevant to the holiday season. Happy holidays, by the way! We forgot to add a filter at the start of the automation. Unlink parts of the automation to prevent the other nodes from running. Step 18. Now that we have some data from the output of the HTTP node, we can reconnect the other nodes and use the data to fill in what we left as placeholders before. From the first HTTP request output, we will use the get URL. Step 19. Now we will run the second HTTP module by itself to get the URL needed to use for the HTTP Get a File node. This URL will be the final file output used to save to Google Drive. In order to run the nodes by themselves, you must copy and paste the proper data output from the previous node. We forgot some other filters, so we will fill those in. It seems like our test failed, so we will try again. Step 20. Now we will finish the rest of the automation to see if the file is saved to Google Drive and we can access it via the Google Sheet. Since the Google Drive link will take a while to process, we will use the direct link from Replicate instead to see the video. To clear the error, this directive requires storing of incomplete executions to be enabled. You click on the error bubble and tick that option mentioned in the error to enable. Once the node is connected to the automation, all errors should be fixed. Let's check the Google Drive link again to see if the video is stored. Nice! The automation was complete and everything seems to work fine. Video looks nice and clean. And this time, the video was generated and properly saved to Google Drive and represented in the Google Sheet. Final thoughts. This is a quick tutorial of how you can use make.com to create a video generator using the Kling video generator model, hosted on replicate.com. Once you learn how to create these automations, you can let your creative juices run wild and change or update things as you see fit.